practicing writing clear. Next is the non-verbal. So in non-verbal, it is body language like gestures, posture, facial expressions. So teaching students how standing confidently in front and making eye contact makes communication stronger, diba? If you make an eye contact with your students, hindi na siya maka-lingi-lingi bisag ako. So that student will listen to you carefully. Kay yung eye contact mo niya, right? Yes. Yes. So in paraverbal, how you say it, tone, speed, and the volume. So you as a teacher, you must higher volume, not so high, but maka-moderate ra maka-tungog ang mga students. Dito tong low na kaayo nga, dili na makadungog ang students sa imong mga gipampiskat in front of the class. So there are three: the verbal, non-verbal, and the paraverbal. So next is the how to teach or learn. So how to teach is the most effective way to teach language and communication. So in the experiential way, make them experience sending and receiving messages through verbal, non-verbal, and paraverbal manner. So the teacher should make the classroom a place for the interplay of mind and hearts. Like for example, in a classroom, the teacher is organizing a debate. So the students is in front and they make a communication, right? So nag-debate ang mga students. So it is practicing the students of verbal, non-verbal, paraverbal. Verbal. Jean. What? GP? Okay. In role play conversation.
Verbal.
On. Correcting body language. Correcting also verbal. Paraverbal. Kaya paano siya? Non-verbal. Non-verbal kay gestures man siya. Non-verbal siya kay gestures. Okay na? Ano mo yung mga questions, clarifications?
So far not.
So far not?
Yes.
Sure? Yes. Okay guys, so we'll have this today. It's 10 items.
Very blessed. Minus 10 mo.
Okay, so, close lang po. Open your eyes. I-post na alayon. Okay na. So, let's continue the chapter 8, which is the philosophies of education. There are 4 left. The 4 is the perennialism, existentialism, behaviorism, and the linguistic philosophy. So first, let's tackle the perennialism. So can you read the perennialism?
Perennialism believes that education should focus on developing students' rational and moral abilities because we are all rational beings.
Okay, so the perennialism believes that education should focus on developing students' rational and moral abilities. So this, in this philosophy, it focuses on the universal truth and the classic of knowledge. So so why teach? Why? We are all rational animals. So schools should therefore develop the students' rational and moral powers. So according to Aristotle, if we neglect the students' rational skills, we deprive them of the ability to use their higher faculties to control their passions and appetites. So the example is a teacher encourages students to reflect on ethical
and I'm not right in a sense that when somebody is asking you or somebody is inquiring you about something that someone is supposed to know, you should tell them the truth and do not lie, especially when that truth or that information is essential for that person to know. It is right in a sense that that truth puts someone's life or right at stake, or what we call the white lies. So I would prefer to answer both right and not right.
You see that Chantal is using a critical thinking skill, so that's not perfect. Okay, next. Next is what to teach. So the perennial curriculum is a universal one on the view that all human beings possess the same essential nature. It is a heavy on the humanities on general education. Philosopher Mortimer Adler claims that the great books of ancient and medieval as well as modern times are a repository of knowledge and wisdom, a tradition of culture must initiate and generation. So perennialist believes that all humans share the same essential natures of education. So the example of this is that Charles Darwin's, the beginning of the man.
Origin of the species.
Yes, origin of the species. So you know that a man is hindi siya moderate sa ugman, di ba? So naka siya evolution. So muna siya step by step. So muna siya sa perennialism. So are the key sources of wisdom that each generation must study. So ang student is nag-study siya about study. So nakabalo siya. So he or she will know that if that person is nag-evolve siya ba? Like that. Yes. So let's proceed to how to teach. So JR, can you read?
The perennialist classrooms are centered around teachers. Teachers do not allow the students interest or experience that substantially dictate what they teach.
So in perennialist how to teach, the teacher leads the classroom. So the example of that is one teacher asks the student is, what is justice? So some of the students answer this question. So you see that the teacher leads in the front and he or she asks the students a question is, what is justice? So the students will answer the question, and this is the example of how to teach in perennialism. Okay, do you understand?
Yes.
So next is the existentialism. Can you read it all?
Existentialism in education focuses on helping students understand themselves as unique individuals who are fully responsible for their own choices, thoughts, and feelings.
So in existentialism, it focuses on the core subjects and the basic skills. So why teach? The main concern of the existentialist is to help students understand and appreciate themselves as unique individuals who accept complete responsibility for their thoughts and actions. So a teacher encourages students to reflect a question. So what kind of person do I want to become? So here's a question. So the teacher will pick, like example, Levi. I will pick you. When you grow older, what do you want to become? When you grow. So Levi wants to be a teacher when she grows, but like Levi knows that in this time a teacher knows that the student is